Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Report. So, I'm going to do two quick articles. I'm not going to read the whole articles, just kind of broad overview of them, and then I gotta get to bed. Well, first I have to shower, then I have to get to bed. Anyways, I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I did a video on it. Well, we have new information out that Congress paid $265,000 in sexual harassment claims over the last decade. Now, when you think about our budget, and you think about how we are $20 trillion in debt, and how our average budget is like $4.5 trillion a year, this number might seem minuscule. But the thing is, should we really be paying settlement fees to those who are being accused, for those who are being accused of sexual harassment? Think about it. That's like you, well, maybe not you, because that might maybe sound kind of badly on your part, but that's like somebody you know. Say you work with somebody, and that person is sexually harassing somebody else. That's like all of a sudden you giving that person your money so he can pay off the accuser who he allegedly sexually assaulted. Yeah, doesn't that sound insane? And yet, we allow this to happen in Congress. When this happens in Congress, nobody says a thing. Because nobody really knows about it. Nobody knows about this. But now, since the swamp that is Congress is draining, people are not running again, like Jeff Flake. Paul Ryan now is thinking about not running in 2018. John McCain has terminal cancer. He won't be around long. All of these swamp creatures, Nancy Pelosi, she's being booed at rallies now. People are wanting to get a new minority leader. All of these swamp creatures are slowly being forced out and abdicated from Congress. So now there is more attention directed toward them. So now more people are becoming aware of these types of cases where thousands and thousands of dollars are being given out of your taxpayer money, given out to those in Congress who are behaving badly. It's reprehensible by them, but in a way it's kind of good, because the more they are exposed, the more angry the people are going to get. And the more angry people are, the more likely they are to vote these swamp creatures out of office. And even if they don't vote them out of office, Congress is becoming hated so much that many of these politicians are actually deciding not to run in 2018 and subsequent dates, which works for me. I don't care how they are removed from Congress. Either they are voted out, or they resign, or they are forced to resign due to sexual allegations. I just want them out of Congress. And I want a new form of government to take control that regresses back to our founding principles and tries to cast their votes and tries to dictate the policies of America based on the Constitution, which is an exceptional document, but is being blatantly ignored. The Constitution is no longer a founding principle to most of those in Congress. It's only a concept that is malleable. That is, it's able to be molded and adapted to fit whatever circumstance they want. It's time we go back to our founding, go back to our origins, and you will see this country turn around. Next one, tax brackets. So, I will say this. I think the tax plan could be better, but since I'm a political junkie, I actually watched some of the C-SPAN arguments over this, and I watched some of those who opposed this tax plan and what they said about it. And they kept saying that it is the worst tax plan ever, that it only cuts taxes for the rich and all this stuff, and it's just simply not true. It's just simply not true. We can look at the tax brackets. So, here is what we are going to be looking at. The individual tax brackets for this new tax bill, which hasn't passed yet, but it will pass. This will become law, I can guarantee it. So anyways, it's 7 brackets, which is synonymous with what Obama had. I mean, I think a flat tax will be perfect, but that's not happening, so we have to make do with what we got. Anyways, you can see the rates here, and you can see where you have to be in those rates. We can compare them with what we have now. So 10, 15, let me shrink this a little bit so we can try to see both at once. Hope you can still see that. So you got 10, 12, 22, 24, 32, 35, 37. 10, 15, 25, 28, 33, 35, 39.6. So the lowest one is still going to be the same. However, 15%, the 38,000, is now 12%, 3% tax cut. This one, 38 to 93, is now 22. This one, 28, 93 to 195, is around 24. I mean, so these are 3 to 4% tax cuts everybody is getting. Every single bracket has received a tax cut except this one. But most of these people that make this much are either students, they're either people that either have 2 full-time jobs, that are maybe working minimum wage temporarily while they go to school, or they are on other assistance like entitlements, welfare, things of that nature. So I really wouldn't worry too much about this lowest bracket. What's most important is the middle class, the 40,000 and above, the 50,000 and above. And as you can see by comparing the tax brackets, there is a tax cut for every single bracket. Not only that, even these poor people right here, people in the lower class I should say, they're able to increase their deductions from $6,500 to $12,000 now. And for families, it's up to $24,000. So even though the bracket's the same, they still receive a tax cut due to the deduction doubling. And that's kind of important. So, like I said, this could be a lot better. This tax plan could be a lot better. But to say that it only benefits the rich is just completely nonsensical. And the only reason they are saying that is because they know that people are going to like this tax bracket. They may not love it, but everyone will receive a tax cut. And to them, I mean, who doesn't want to see their taxes cut? Not only that, the corporate tax rate will be decreasing from 35 to 21%. Most people don't realize is that the majority of the corporate tax is paid by the consumers, not the actual corporation. Corporations are made up of people. So if they have to tax their employees, they're either going to do that or they're going to tax their services that they are creating, the goods that they are creating, which goes to the consumers. So I am for cutting the corporate tax rate. However, I think we have to cut the most important tax, which is spending, because inflation is a tax, and inflation is caused from massive spending. But to say that this tax plan, it just only helps the rich, is just not true. It's simply not true. You can see the data here. You can compare the data and look at everything. It's just simply not true. So take it with a grain of salt when you hear people say that this is only going to benefit the rich, because it will benefit everybody. And yes, the rich are getting a bigger tax cut because they are also paying more in taxes already. So, I mean, it's relative to what they make. For instance, 32% here is getting a bigger tax cut than 22%, and so on and so forth, because it's in relation to what they make. But they are also paying more the way it is. But, okay, there we go. Sorry about my computer fan. It's been acting up again. I gotta vacuum clean it again and clean it. I hope it wasn't that loud for you, but I'll post both links in the description. Be sure to check them out, and I'm done.